Charismatic Mexican cartoonist extraordinaire Gelada greets you amicably. There are endless videos on YouTube for you to bump into. Fed by mysterious algorithms, you can get lost in strange forests. Thus you arrived here. Welcome. I welcome you to the introduction of the most important message you will ever listen to. Indeed, I have something to share with you that can transform you completely from the ground up. Sounds exciting. Too good to be true, right? Of course you are skeptical. Trust me, friend. Skepticism will yield to terror, then wonder. If you grant me some of your time and your full attention, your investment will be rewarded a millionfold. You have bumped into the thing everyone is looking for, a path to completely unsuspected pleasure, power, growth, glory, a practical path to a new mankind. For no reason other than to try and hold your fickle interest in an age of endless distraction, this video will be structured as a numbered list. 10. There are many entry points to this grand mystery, and depending on what your current interests are, you might be more enticed if I developed my ideas from this or that starting point. I ask that you make an effort to extend your patience and attention for but a brief moment, and trust that what I have to say is very, very relevant to your interests. This affects everything for everyone. This spiel changes the core of man. There will be nothing magical about what I will say. I won't ask you to take leaps of faith. I will not present any fantastical visions of sneaky serpent people pulling strings from underground. And no arguments from authority will be made either. This won't be about religion. I don't even like to think of what I shall relay as philosophy. Rather, this will be a course on the mechanisms of human meaning, the meaning of meaning. This will be a course on language and the structure of being, presenting mathematical arguments for you to judge, a course that aims to lead its listener to grand Lovecraftian revelations, a course to lead you into a completely new world. Let us give an example of a mathematical argument, by which I mean an argument that is self-contained. There is no need to check anything elsewhere. It is the authority of your mind at work. To give an example then, if x is larger than y, and y is larger than z, then x is larger than z as well. Here's another example. If God's attribute is being absolute, and the core principle of existence is relativity, it follows God is the only thing that cannot exist. 9. Let me dedicate some time to talking about who you're listening to. I am a comic book author. I created 2 books in the past: Secret Reunion in Carfax Lodge and Not Freak Squeal. I like to describe them both as the strangest you will ever see Dracula be. They are surreal science fiction adventures meant to be read slowly. I like to think of them as similar to the works of Stanley Kubrick. I am currently working on a new series titled In Hell to be released through periodic installments via Kickstarter. In Hell can be described as The Breakfast Club meets Beetlejuice meets Made in Abyss. You should check my works out. You would enjoy them. My ideas come from my ambition and my despair, which are both products of excess energy. I am a victim of failure and a victim of success as well. The success of my species has left me adrift in waters in which the dreams and actions of the past have been made obsolete, yet I remain programmed to yearn for them. War is denied to me. Reproduction is denied to me. Communion with peers has been so far denied to me. For a long time, I thought the future in general was denied to me, as I, as many others have, harbored painful apocalyptic fears. Excess energy tends to take the shape of fear and anxiety, both of which have tormented me through the years. I have no friends. I am not integrated into any social milieu outside of my close family and the woman I somehow wooed 2 decades or so ago. I have excess energy because no pre-existing human structure so far has successfully seduced me into wholly pouring my blood into it. While most of those that stumbled into postmodernism have reverted to brainless Marxism, I couldn't. I persisted in that direction, past acceptance of the death of God, and swam into uncharted waters. Uncharted? Not completely. I found a peer, I found a friend and a teacher in Friedrich Nietzsche. I discovered this luminary far above luminaries many years ago, and euphorically recognized in his work a kindred spirit. I have labored tirelessly in a direction nobody works in, because I feel, unlike most, a profound desire to be mistaken, and to therefore move to a new space upon discovery of a new principle. I have been made fearless by the depth of my despair, by feeling that, since my circumstances were unbearable, I had nothing to lose by pushing into uncertainty. At the same time, I have thirsted so painfully for new mysteries, to build, for my readers, truly abominable and fantastical revelations to reward the time they put into my fantasy works, to be wrong, and to be very glad to discover a new truth. That has been my MO. The mother of all good news has grown within me, a world of gold, the gold pill, if you will. It demands I try to share it with others, hence this video series, an attempt to outline for others a path forward, beyond nihilism, into glory, into a new renaissance. Yes, a properly positive, proactive, aggressive project. Something that, for technical reasons, nobody can even dream about anymore. 8. Who is this video course for? Why, for everyone, of course, provided that A. You have a solid grasp of the English language and can think in a detailed manner. B. You can conceive of, you can believe in, the possibility of real cognitive growth. You must be aware that luxury is only available through our minds, through our health. By cognitive growth, I'm not talking about knowing more about a certain subject or becoming better at X or Y task. Think rather about what happens in the minds of toddlers as they develop. One day, a marble disappears when hidden. The next day, the child understands it is still there even if his senses don't confirm its presence. My course is about making a leap likely greater than the one humanity gave when moving from ape to man. C. You must value truth above comfort. You must be brave. If you merely want to solve your life and find yourself nothing beyond a cozy little nook or cranny to wait for death in, turn away now. All this will be real, dangerous stuff. In that sense, this is an adventure only for people with either great ambition or great despair. It won't be easy, though, for you or I. Truly, you must be 1 in a million if you haven't clicked off this video yet. Do you even exist? Even if you don't, I will persevere and work for the work's sake, if nothing else. If, against all odds, you do exist, please comment, like, and share the video. 7. This course is sure to be of interest to those interested in defeating the phenomenon known as socialism, the very real push towards universal slavery, terror, and death. A beast that goes by many names: communism, feminism, Gnosticism, nihilism, the nauseating rainbow flood demanding you lobotomize, poison, and castrate yourself, demanding you lie with every breath you take. I myself prefer the label Platonism, as I understand Plato's concept of a fallen, shadow world of bungled, imperfect shapes to be the true heart of the detestable movement. From that incoherent concept sprouts the entire idea of evil. I have yet to hear any of the warriors that oppose the great socialist wave of our age talk about this. The closest someone gets to addressing the issue is James Lindsay. He accurately traces Marxism to the idea of the world as a jail for the spirit, but he remains, I believe, willfully oblivious of the fact that the base idea of a fallen world, a prison reality, and a vision of men as victims and toys of the cosmos are present in most, if not all, of the monotheistic religions. Monotheism. That is another fitting name for the foe you and I, together, shall banish from our hearts. 6. It is not enough to criticize, though. Negative thinking, in fact, is the issue here. An authority must be replaced. It must be rendered obsolete if it is to be laid to rest. One can't let go of one branch until the next one is in our grasp. People attack nihilism, they attack socialism, but they defend its core. They do it because they feel there is nothing else to defend. This guide, this course will lead you, friend, to a space beyond such wretchedness, into the Superman, into expansive, dynamic joy, power, and beauty far surpassing what you believe to be possible. 5. The future is coming. It comes, in fact, today, as dear old 2D sings. There are many giant changes looming large in the fast approaching horizon, linked, among other things, to many giant technologies. You know of Lovecraft. You know of Ray Bradbury. If not, you know at least about Rick and Morty. All these stories that suggest the future will demand radically new outlooks on life, on the world. I know you understand this. You can think of dozens of things right now that invalidate the meaning in you. Just skim through Twitter for 5 minutes, and you can find more stimuli than your mind can process. We live in an increasingly overwhelming world. Sights to drive one mad, like the ones featured in Lovecraft's work. a sturdier sense of sanity is needed. Right now, most people can't cope at all with the past, let alone the present, and certainly not the future. If we are to contend with the coming changes as we should, as lords of our own projects, lords of our world, a new perspective, a new human soul is needed. That's what we are about here at Gelada Incorporated. The future is our business. 4. Let me give you some idea of what this course will deliver to you. Here is the gist of it. We as a species build structures of authority. These are individual and social. They tell us what to do, why. They tell us who we are, what everything means. These structures tell us what meaning means. The word and letter I, for example, the concept, the first person singular pronoun, is one such structure of authority, one that could, conceivably, be replaced with a new conception. We take such things for granted, but people in North Korea apparently have no choice but to say us every time they would say I, as the government there has deprived them of that tool, that cognitive space, judging it inconvenient to its interests. To build such structures is a difficult task, as we are the union of endless forces held in check. We are extremely complex organisms. All of these voices must be expressed. They will find satisfaction, or else sabotage the project that curtails them. This is what is typically understood as neurosis. The authority we have built is one that fails to find a harmonious role for many of the most important drives within us. We have outgrown it. This is the famous death of God Friedrich Nietzsche speaks of, the death of what I label external authority. Think about it for a moment. Who judges you when you judge yourself not to be the judge? God, and the concept of good versus evil, has ruled us for millennia. This plant, though, as Nietzsche points out, leads inevitably to nihilism, and to its practical application, socialism. It is, in fact, a suicidal movement that labels life as sinful. All roads, sadly, have led away from the glory of polytheistic Rome, a golden age that resurfaced but briefly during the Renaissance. To repeat, socialism is but the logical conclusion of the authority that has ruled the world until now. We have lived under a philosophy that preaches hatred for life, and thus punished ourselves with cyclical orgies of genocidal misery. This must end, lest it ends us. 3. How will this work? Grand mysteries will not be merely discussed here. They will be made tangible. This will be a practical course, that you may install into your mind a much more powerful engine of meaning. A series of ideas will be laid out in a sequence. As you mull them over, the possibility of a completely new world, a completely new existence will, hopefully, dawn upon you. I will share with you the key to a mightier, brighter universe, a mightier, brighter self. One you have so far been barred from growing into by a pernicious set of chains set upon you. We shall smash the root of misery, the virus of misery, a concept, a frame, an order of things we believe to be an inextricable part of reality. Indeed, I believe what I hold to be very rare wisdom. Crucially, I believe that I can communicate said wisdom in a way that people can actually understand and absorb. Previous vehicles for these most powerful of messages have sadly failed to force people to confront the truth. A very great pedagogic effort is needed to actually break through the many layers of resistance and explain water to a fish. 2. What I will explain will be very traumatizing to hear. Why? Because you will quickly notice that the ideas I present, while undeniably tyrannically true, are incompatible with your current outlook, with the way you understand life on the deepest of levels. Resistance to change is an important part of us all. Homeostasis. We will have to contend with this. The moment of crisis will come, and I can only hope your curiosity and ambition, your pride or, alternatively, your despair, will motivate you to stand your ground and brave the depths with me. Now, the goal here is not to have you nod along to a long, winding speech you may perhaps find interesting or even impressive, only to promptly forget. The goal is to provide a practical guide for people to heal themselves into coherence. It should be both exciting and painful. 1. As previously stated, what I peddle is not a religion or even a philosophy. What I will put forward is not a system of censorship. It is not, in fact, at all about imposing any fixed idea. I don't want you to accept my ideas. I want to make friends. I want to build peers. I want to build rivals even. I want to help build a world of greater ferocity. No fixed meaning, rather, a door to exuberant, ever-evolving meaning. Not meaning without end, but meaning rich with endless ends. The heart of Superman. Without further ado, let me direct you then to the first chapter in our journey. A chapter crowned with a deceptively harmless-sounding title. On technical language, or, for a chemist, nothing is dirty.